Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at Tock Isle. This is a little comedic time travel game, point and click adventure. I imagine it may not be very long to play from beginning to end. What I find it weird about this game is that the main character looks shockingly similar to the main character in a game that was made later called The Watchmaker, which was barely played by anyone, mixed reviewed, and was a pretty bad game. I covered it a while ago on my channel. That being said, I guess maybe there's room for coincidence there. This game is made by a company, I think it's called Squid Urchins is the name of it. This main menu seems to only have keyboard control, which could get a little annoying if the entire game is keyboard only. I've played a couple games like that and never been particularly happy when that happens. And the full screen mode isn't really implemented particularly well, so instead we'll just leave it at Windows 5X for my recording software. If I go into full screen mode, what happens is the window bar at the top is still visible in full screen mode for me, and for the recording software you then have black bars on the top and bottom and left and right. At least at Windows 5X you have full screen, only black bars on the left and right. Let's hop in. So 20XX, let's go ahead and move the mouse cursor just off screen. Yeah, in The Watchmaker you played as kind of this red-headed guy that had a mechanism on his back. I'm not sure if he really had a satchel, and he had a magical glove, and was tall and lanky. Now in The Watchmaker you play with a gameplay mechanic of, as time passes in each level you get older and older, so the 3D model, and it was a 3D game instead of this being a flat 2D game, the 3D model of the Watchmaker would get older and older, and then if he hit a specific age he would just die outright, and you would have to collect energy to revert yourself back to younger forms. But they kind of painted themselves in a weird corner in which you can't go too far in either direction. Too old and it's unrealistic if he's 400 years old, for instance, and too young and he's immovable because a baby's not going to be able to walk through a level. Yeah, not to talk about The Watchmaker too much, but it was a fairly ambitious game. It just very, very ambitious, just not good. Let's see. Yeah, I think we've got full keyboard only control here. My mouse cursor does not seem to want to react to anything at all. Alright, well, keyboard only it is. It's been a while. So we'll try and run back. There's a down button. Seems like there's no voice acting. The audio was fairly loud when it first launched, as I turned it down quite a bit to like 25% lower than even normal. So you're saying something about movement. Yep, you can use the arrow keys to move. I'll just use my feet. Give me a ring when you want me to pick you up, amigo. Sure thing. So how would you use the ring? Bell. Is that the down button also? Or is it the space button? I guess if I'm going to use the keyboard, I'm going to have to move it closer. Normally I have it on the desk a little bit further away. Space button seems to do nothing. Control seems to do nothing. Alt seems to do nothing. Oops. Alt does do something. It pauses the screen because it brings up like an alt menu. Interesting. And you can't climb stairs normally just by walking that direction. Well, this might be a short game for a reason. Because if all we're going to do is wander around quite a bit in empty rooms, it's going to get fairly dull fairly fast. Did we go full circle there? No, not quite full circle. But I'm definitely not seeing anything to interact with too much. Yep. This may be a collection of flat 2D screens with nothing else of interest in a lot of occasions. It's locked. Interesting, the music sounds fairly loud, whereas the little sound effect of talking, not so much. Maybe we'll have to play a little hide and go seek and hide behind some of these trees, since you're going behind some and in front of some. Interesting, I guess the door that we just came in the foreground, and this is in the background. This is dangerously getting close to one of the flatter horror game styles that I've seen a few horror games try and sell themselves as, where you are just walking back and forth in a building looking for items before some zombie or monster catches you and kills you. Hopefully we don't go that route, because those games generally look pretty boring and a little low effort. Hello, Mr. Clepsydra? Maybe we'll just shorten that to Clep or Clepsy. Like Clepsydra is quite a long last name. I guess he stepped out. I should enter this in my notes. Alright, so we hit enter, and apparently our to-do is to fix the clock. Our phone is a Foxkia basic phone, and we have a map of the world we're in, which looks like it's probably a top-down map at 20xx. Let's see. If enter does anything else, doesn't seem like it is. Weirdly, he says I should put it in my notes, but space is not doing anything. Control's not doing anything. WASD is not doing anything. Yeah, so that definitely feels like they just told me to take notes, and that wasn't true. This is a very odd keyboard layout that you're pressing down to move the dialogue forward. Also, here we have a knockdown moose head, which looks kind of like a monster to start with. So I guess what's going to happen is we're going to go back in time into this world, and more things will be fixed. So then we get a phone call. Guess where I am? Clock Tower Island. How'd you know? GPS. Alright. Why are you there? I got called out to fix the clock. Oh, so he's a clock repairman. Weird job. Specifically getting emergency calls to fix the clock. But that hasn't worked since we were kids. Who called you? Actually, it was an email from Mr. Clepsydra. What? Clock? We're cutting out. Don't you be the... I'll call you when I get back to the mainland. Stop. Smell you later. So you don't get the message to not fix the clock. The one sound effect. There's a loose board here. Somewhere here. But there's no jump button. Hmm. Interesting. The game felt a little chuggy there with the mouse running away. Can this engine not even handle a mouse running across the screen? Wow. That would be pathetically wimpy. Now I can't walk, so we have to just press downward. Interesting. Now I can walk. There's a cat here. And apparently we just got large clock key from that. And then this way there's nothing. Seems like there's a backward setting. The wheel has fallen off. The wheels have fallen off the going train. Nothing happened. Looks like the clock is missing some parts. Alright. So now we have parts. Can we put them on? Yes. And so apparently we've now fixed the clock. So, are we supposed to fix the big clock, or are we supposed to fix the small clock? I suspect we probably need to do both. This clock has been neglected for years. I wonder how it still functions. Okay. So there's the big clock. So you chase that mouse around. Yeah, there's just like nothing to do, so we, I suppose, just activate the thing. Very standard adventure to start with, is you are forced into doing something. See, and I would say compared to a point-and-click adventure game, Squiddershins is the company, that they made another game several years later called Manual Samuel, I believe is the name of it, in which you have to find different ways to kill yourself in comedic ways over and over again. I think that's the name of the game. Actually, I could probably just look and tell you if I can get the mouse cursor to go to my second screen. Let's see. Merrily Perily. Manual Samuel is a different game. They came out with that in 2018. They also have a free demo called A Book of Beasts and Buddies. I think Merrily Perily probably is more of a game than what this feels like this is going to be. We're probably going on something that is going to be closer to an interactive adventure than an actual video game. At least so far that's how it feels, because we definitely aren't really solving puzzles or anything. We picked up 2 items in the exact same room and used them. Whereas a real point-and-click adventure game would have had us, at the very least, get the key to the grandfather clock, have to open the grandfather clock, and then get a gear out of it to then fix the big clock. And we almost certainly would have talked to somebody else besides just the ship captain, and there very possibly should have been a puzzle around trapping the rats or chasing the mouse. You could certainly see a scenario where you have to chase the rats up the stairs, and then the mouse jumps down to chase the rats some more and leaves the key at that point, instead of you just talking to him. Anyways, let's continue. Ouch. Remember your training at Sadie Lou. find out when you are and try to avoid talking to people. So does he already know he's traveled through time? That's extreme. And here we have a big head kid. Really anatomically incorrect. Are you okay? I hope so. What time is it? About noon? Right, noon. How long has The Simpsons been on the air? I don't know. 20 years? Why, who are you? Strike mainspring. May I use your clock? Sure, but thanks. So now in 2009, where he was in 20XX before, although this phone, Fox Kia's basic phone, seems like not much. If we look at the map over there, it says 2099 and 20XX. It looks like there's only enough room for another time in the future, and the map itself doesn't seem like it's going to be very big. In fact, it feels like the number of items you're going to collect is going to be fairly small. They're even keeping shadows of the items you find before. It's a possibility that this kid is you, but I gotta go. Really weird that you're... Right, the dog won't let you walk any further. There's no achievements in this game. Feels like there should be. Let's talk to this guy. He's blocking our way. Can't do anything else. Very linear experience, it seems like. Are you alright? Si, senor. Brazo ferrete es muy fantastico. And then the game saved at that point. What was all of that about? Imagine we'll go in circles and all of these events we see will be explained later. Could also be that in this world there's just a lot of weird time connected things. Different people from different timelines all on the Clock Tower Island. Looks like we probably will mail a letter at some point in the past. We've got two guys, so let's talk to this guy. Have you brought news from the front, Ensign? I am waiting for a letter from my best girl. I am really here just to fix the clock. I'm sorry, Sonny. Ensigns are not authorized to enter. So we'll have to talk to the other people. Who goes there? Strike mainspring, General. Are you strapping youth of a fighting age? I suppose so. Will you take up arms against the Squid King? Squid King? So we're gonna get choices in the dialogue using the keyboard also. Did you say Squid King? But what's funny is I selected pressing enter and now I'm back to having to press down to move the story forward. It seems very weird that they wouldn't allow enter to work also, at the very least. It can neither confirm or deny the existence of the Squid King and his legion of mutant cyborgs. Clock. Really here just to fix the clock. Move along, Sonny. I have no time for draft dodgers. Let's see. Enter. May I just go inside? None shall pass. What about the kid on the beach? Was there a kid on the beach? That blonde boy doesn't live here. All information about my grandchildren is classified top secret, or worse. Okay. So now we're gonna go try and talk to the boy and see the Squid King grab him. I could see a game like this really trying to be something like Day of the Tentacle or Maniac Mansion, one of those old Scum games. But it's really hard to emulate those games if you're not going to really put a lot of puzzles and frankly overly complicated challenges in the game. It's also really hard to emulate a game like that if you're not going to have extremely good writers on your staff. Lucas Arts, having George Lucas and Star Wars funding, was able to hire and maintain writers who could actually write very well. Also, I think the likes of Ron Gilbert are kind of just extremely talented, and it's hard to find a Ron Gilbert these days. But I gotta go. Well, talking to him did nothing new. And I imagine talking to him multiple times is not going to cause anything to happen. Yep. Seems like we don't have a new option. See if there was some other button, like tab. Tab doesn't do anything. In the old war is now our goal. Feels like we should have gotten a notification to say we have a new quest. Sound effect or something. Alright, so I guess we're in the old war. I'm waiting for a letter from my best girl. Start with no information. I'm really here just to fix the glass. Draft dodger. She has no time for draft dodger, sir. That's my girl. So the girl is at the front and he's at the back. She can neither confirm nor deny the existence of the Squid King and his legion of mutant cyborgs. Neither can I. That's good reconnaissance, Ensign. I'm promoting you to Lieutenant Junior grade. Thank you, sir. Dismissed. And see, if you were going for comedy, why not just have him go one more foot back and fall behind there? Right. Now we just have a mother running around, I guess. Good afternoon, ma'am. Is it afternoon already? It is. Your clock tower appears to be off. My good-for-nothing husband was supposed to fix that after mowing the lawn. I'd be happy to take a look at it for you, if you'd like. You'll fix my husband? That would be wonderful. I was referring to the clock. Oh, that'd be nice too. You also run into a problem, certainly. As soon as they introduced like voice acting in point-and-click adventures, it's really not worth it to play a point-and-click adventure that's newer after that point. So sometime around, I would say 92 was the last time it was really acceptable to have a point-and-click that was just text. At a certain point, you either need to fall down to lazier efforts and just make a visual novel at that, if you're going to do that, or fall upward and have voice acting. This map does not make a lot of sense to me. Like, we are here, so then where does this door go? Outside. So where does this door go? Here you have a poodle and a redhead kid in glasses. Kind of reminiscence of an old cartoon. Yeah. But if this was his own family, you would think you would recognize them, or at least have some memory of them. Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt. But you are aware the clock is in dire need of maintenance? I'll mow the lawn right after the show. And see, this is the moose head that had fallen down. A closet that goes to multiple rooms. It's a little weird. The layout of this whole house is a little weird, come to think of it. It feels like I don't even know. Like, normally, I guess we can't go out the front door because it's blocked. Yeah, did that just wrap around? Yes, it did. Normally you would have a lot more halls, or you would have this must be the wrestler guy's bedroom. You would have one long hall connecting to multiple rooms. You wouldn't have closets and bathrooms that connect to two different rooms. Closets in particular. There is such a thing as a Jack and Jill bathroom that's not done much anymore. But yeah. Shared closets seem kind of ridiculous. We can't really do anything with this clock. It's just a lot of clocks, a lot of generic items. We have Wild Stallions, the Bill and Ted reference, and in the background you have Bill and Ted. And one of the other Bill and Ted characters, I think. What the flute do you want? I was just investigating the music. Are you some kind of musical detective? No, I'm trying to fix the clock. If you don't quit snooping around, I'll fix your clock. You don't even hear the music from a different room. This might be a screenshot in the background from Leisure Suit Larry. Like, there might be a lot of references to a bunch of old point-and-click adventure games. Here you have references to X-Files, certainly. And the Cheshire Cat. But I don't know if these aren't just references. There's a what is that? Surrealist artist reference. Forgot the name of the surrealist artist. Salvador Dali. That's what it is. Here you have a reference to Legend of Zelda. But there really is nothing here. I think this is a reference to some cartoon. I don't recognize it. There's just kind of nothing here. I don't know what the ninja and the king are supposed to be particularly references to. Like the only thing, I don't know what that would be a reference to, really. Then you have references here to Inuyasha, the anime, which also involves time travel. Does everything involve time travel? Every reference? Yeah, because the Zelda game they were referencing also was a time travel game. You changed from the past to the present in Ocarina of Time, specifically. Here we have photos that I suspect are supposed to be the creators of the game. Here you have a phone. You'd think maybe you could look at the phone and pick up a phone number and call it later. Here you have Lost Vikings. I don't know if Lost Vikings has time travel in it. We found a new area. I don't know what this symbol is supposed to be. We found the plunger. So really this is falling down into just kind of a hidden object game where we're just wandering around looking for the one thing you can find. I don't know what the characters in the background are supposed to be references to. Let's talk to this lady. She looks very anatomically inaccurate too, with hips that are not only way too thin but also slanted in a weird way. Hello there. I don't recall ordering a gorgeous stranger. Sorry, miss. I appear to be lost. Then it's a good thing I found you. Oh yeah, the name's Rivet. But you can call me whatever you like. Handsome. Rivet sounds fine. I'm trying to fix the clock, so I should be going. When you're finished, come by my room so we can get to know each other better. ... So. Yep. So if we went that way, then I think we probably have seen everything. The map is weird because you're just like all over the place. I guess you do have a list on the map of where you are, so that is Rivet's room. Let's see, what reference is this? I kind of want to say Harry Potter, but I don't think it is. Yeah. I don't really recognize any of these. So maybe this is something actually involved with the game. What room is this called? The Time Hall. Up we go. And then gear room right. I imagine not too much is going to be different here. Got a couple little kids playing. So it seems like we're going to be dealing with a lot of kids that probably will grow up later. Look, what's funny is that also jumped us into dialogue as soon as we walked to the left instead of making us start the dialogue. An adventurer. Is he after the treasure? I hope so. Alright, well, we'll pull the lever, which legendary tube disguised as a simple mailing tube. This is actually the legendary sword of a legendary swordsman. Alright, so we're gonna play. Looks like the crown escapement is missing. I wonder where it could be. Alright. So we have to go in here. And I don't know if there's really going to be a game here, or if this is going to just be basically a cutscene. We are the twin terrors of Tick-Tock Tower, Verge, and Follett? Whatever. We'll go with Follett. The treasure you seek is atop our tower. Okay, we have a sword, but now hitting enter does not bring out the map. Pressing up jumps. Good to know. Let's not press or look, and let's just avoid conflict. let's kind of assume that the sword maybe only works for a brief amount of time. It may only save us once. So effectively what we're doing is playing Donkey Kong. You've won today. Yep. So kind of a game there, but not much challenge and not much of anything. But we'll win tomorrow. Don't forget to take your treasure. Bye. And so now we have the crown escapement. So we'll put that in. Probably install the crown escapement before using the winding key. Which I guess goes here. That should fix things. Back to the Future. Yep. I've found you. Okay, so this would be far in the future, so Rivet is maybe immortal? Vampire, maybe? Decades later. I guess we did forget to date her. Or sleep with her, whatever. Was I missing long? An eternity. You still look well. You're so sweet. It's only been about a year, huh? The longest year in my life. 2010. Okay. So now that bumps things interestingly forward. Well, let's just talk to Rivet. The tides of my passion overcame the levies of time so that we might flood the world with our romance. ... Alright, let's see what's down this way. It's basically still set up, I think, at this point. We're just gonna have to figure out what our actual goal is gonna be. Hello, senior referee, or hola, senior referee. Hola. My bones broke under the strain of my wrestling prowess. One too many jumps? See. The life of a luchador. Even if you speak English, it is lonely, senor. Hey, well. Apparently that toilet was clogged and I've now unclogged it. It's funny that a house would just start to fall apart in a year. Particularly if there's people still around. Dear diary, my body grows weary from the daily vigil of watching from the clock tower for my belated beloved's return, but my soul can find solace in nothing else. Right. Yeah. If it is a time travel story that these three characters are supposed to be from, what would that story be? Does look like there's a dog bone. And I guess we could have jumped this whole time just by pressing up. So there was a loose board. Let's go and check out the time hall. It would kind of stink if our only real hint is that there's a creaking sound. We have a conspiracy board being filled out. Hey, we found something. What did we find? It's kind of weird, some of these items are all over the place. Blues harp, Richter tuned diatonic harmonica. Or Richter? I don't know how that's how you would pronounce that word, if that is even a word. You again. Did you solve your musical mystery? I'm still trying to fix the clock. Then we should have an equally productive year. So I guess the question is time just affected very differently in this clock tower island? Doesn't seem like it really is. Go this way. Can we do something with this clock? Nope. Have we been all over the place? Seems like we have. So next step is just to keep looking. As morning passes by, scrubbing grime from grout, I curse while dishes dry. Out, damn spout, out. By night of the plates cascade, I'm overwhelmed by crumbs, and though I plead for aid, no one ever comes to save me from the grease or to rinse a soapy knife. When will I find release from Sisyphean life? I pray it will be soon. Sigh yet another spoon. Sisyphean being Sisyphus, the guy who was cursed to roll the boulder uphill every day and then it rolled back down at night. Here we have Doctor Who references with the TARDIS and some Daleks in the background. That was time travel. Looks like she was about to order a new mower. There you have a poster that says careless talk. Which I don't know what that really means. That is supposed to mean something. It'd be weird if there was an item in this closet. It's so small. Here you have a blue rhino and a blonde. Which, maybe that's Land of the Lost. Some reference there. There the dog is growling at us. What are you doing here? The clock was off, so I'm fixing it. That was a year ago. It's a really big clock, but I gotta go. Let's see, that background image also looks like a Salvador Dali image, I would guess. Yeah. Honestly, this feels like there's just so many references with these images in the background that you're just not likely to run into figuring them all out. Let's see. Where have you been, Lieutenant? I need a senior office to deliver a top secret message to my girl at the front. Am I not only a lieutenant, sir? What have you been doing all this time? Fixing the clock. If you see a senior officer, have them report to me. Yes, sir. Dismissed. So we need to be a senior officer. The adventurer has returned. Take our treasure. Enter Frostbite Forest if you dare. Let's look around a little bit more. I don't think I'm guaranteed to have what I need. I think we'll probably have to go back in time and mail the mower for him. Oh snap, this tree has a sap tap. So I guess if we had a bucket, we could probably do something there. Thought you could get the drop on me, eh? No, I reckon I can take you without even leaving my step. So, that's weird. But not crazy unheard of to be knocked out in an adventure game. Seems like there's nothing on this screen. So did we completely search this bottom area? I don't think we did. Let's talk to this guy. Just 5 more minutes. Still watching TV. Saw that. The dog doesn't seem to want us to let us in that room. Alright, so it looks like we do have to just go in here. We'll just see. Alright. So now from Donkey Kong we are playing Hammer Brothers. Alright, well. Downward swings the hammer. Wow. This is going to be one of those cases where there's just going to be a lot of room for failure. Because, yeah. How could there not be a lot of failure? 1 hit kills, 1 hit resets you. Like, okay. So like, this is not likely a game where you're going to get particularly better at this. The controls are wonky, to say the least. You're just using a you're just using a keyboard instead of a controller. You won today, but we'll win tomorrow. Don't forget to take your treasure. Bye. I don't even know what the treasure was. You now have a ladder. Why do I need a ladder? Reach new heights up 2 feet more than before. So we're gonna have to just find the place where a ladder would work. And my general assumption is that it is kind of far up. Just kind of wandering around in circles. Like they've done everything in their possible best to be able to. There you go. Ladder. Seems like you have to jump there, but you have to kind of jump very carefully to actually get up on the step. So now we have a squeak toy, which I guess means we give it to the dog. Is the dog this way? We're not giving the squeak toy to the dog. And what are we doing with the squeak toy? There's a squeak toy, right? Squeaky toy, Ratchet's favorite toy. I think, like, where's our goal? Redirect Rivet in the old war, encourage Brazos, get rod mowing. So these are all goals that we've just picked up and not even recognized. Alright, so now we'll go back to 2009. And we'll give him the squeak toy. We didn't even know he was there. Interesting. I've been waiting, stranger. You don't say. But just as handsome as I remember. And you. Are you going to... And you are going to have to excuse me. Really? Can't just go into Rivet's room. Dear diary. See, dear diary, I miss the most wonderful man. He's handsome, intelligent, strong, kind, hardworking, and I think he might be a tourist. Several pages have been torn out. So what's in the trash? Dear diary, despite my every efforts, I am not Spanish. Such a tragic twist of fate that my ears would be so seductive and yet unable to understand the language of love. These are the crumbled up language lessons order form here as well. Alright, so we've got to get her to learn Spanish or get the Spanish guy to learn English, which is probably the other way around. But we need to get the Spanish guy to learn English. Where's the down? And it seems like we are going to just mostly bounce between these two timelines. And we won't get back to 20XX for quite a while. Interesting, we have a new character we missed last time. Good evening, ma'am. Is it evening already? Excuse me a moment. Rodney, why does the front yard still look like an African savanna? I don't see the lawnmower. Then get off your butt and find it. It's getting dark. I'll find it tomorrow. Ahem. You're saying, Mr. Handyman? I'm still working on a clockwork. Take your time. So it's a few hours later, I guess. Here's the lawnmower. I guess we now have this ladder, which can get us up several places. I guess you just leave the ladder, and you still have it. It's just automatically fills. Alright, so we've given him the lawnmower. An old push mower. Alright, so that apparently got rod mowing somewhat, but maybe not really. We'll have to see if he's actually mowing the grass, or if we can see him actually mowing the grass. Adventurer has returned to take our treasure. Enter the Sand Dune Citadel if you dare. Which I guess we might as well do this. Here you have a reference to a monkey movie. What was that called? Planet of the Apes. Here we have a Prince of Persia reference, which I don't think the original Prince of Persia had anything to do with time travel, but the Sands of Time, like reboot continuations theories, certainly did. This guy only swings when he's on the ground, like so many previous old games. This one seems a little bit more manageable. Almost got hit there. You've won today, but we'll win tomorrow. Don't forget to take your treasure. Bye. Now we have a shovel. But we have no reason or rhyme as to why we have a shovel. Let's see. Partially filled out form for foreign language lessons. Maybe if we teach her a completely different language, that'll change something. Just the man I'm looking for, Lieutenant. What can I do for you, sir? Do you have the time? 5:30. It's almost time for supper. Good work, Lieutenant. I'm promoting you to commander. Thank you, sir. Dismissed. So now we've been promoted again. If he is going to mow the grass, I assume that would reveal something at some point in the future. Yo Perdira la Pelia. I don't know what that means. You lost? C. Was it a big guy? Grande hombre? No. Mini Ruda. Ella realizo un double pump handle orange crush bomb. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Que sera de mi? Rudo? R-U-D-O. Whatever. We'll mail something. What did we just mail? Language form? How about the mower form also? Yeah. Seems like we probably will get almost all of these squares filled in, if not all the squares filled in. It seems like the legendary tube actually isn't anything, and oddly the large key is something we're just keeping, I guess, for a while. Is there a reason to talk to people multiple times? So we still don't have a bucket for the sap on the tree. Who goes there? Strike mainspring. Who? Strike mainspring. I'm repairing the clock. I remember now. You're that draft dodger. That's me. Have you decided to enlist? No, I. Then go back to your hippie commune. So we'll just quickly run around in circles just to make sure we found everything. Yeah, I think we're probably only a few hours. No, less than another hour of gameplay before we're completely done with this. I feel like we are going to be fairly quickly done. See, there's a violin in the air. Cereal box says cereal stainless Compagnons. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The Serial Champions? Yeah, that's probably what that says. He's still protecting this door. The music changes fairly abruptly when we go in that room. So this is his room. Hello, Mr. Mainspring. Hi. You don't even know my name, do you? Let's see. Pawn, Pony, Rimatore. Let's go with Rimatore. It's Pin. Yeah, I was close. So you were swimming by, you noticed the clock was off, and you decided to fix it on a whim. I was on a boat. But the rest is accurate enough, but I gotta go. So he's like investigating you and suspects you, obviously, from being from the future. You again. Unless you find me some inspiration, detective, leave me alone. So now apparently we have music for Melody as a quest. So I think we've looked everywhere in this one. We should just go up again. There's nothing on this coat rack that we can grab. What you're not seeing here, though, is long, complicated chains in which you have to do one thing to get an item to do the next thing to do the next thing. It seems like you're just wandering around finding one item that's needed to move one of the 5 goals forward towards its final solution, but even at that, we seemingly did get Rod mowing, or I guess get Rod moving, and yet that doesn't count, so maybe that wasn't Rod that we got mowing the grass. Let's see. The trophy says number 1 technical, I guess. That's probably what that means. Seems like you probably wouldn't dig anything up with a shovel in the building, which that kind of then severely limits where the shovel would be useful. Well, I think we've been everywhere on this floor. I think we have to bounce back to the next area. And I think that's probably what's going to happen, is we're just going to bounce back in a lot of different places. A lot of different times. 2010. Nothing's changed there. Let's go back this way. You kind of think some of these bushes or plants would wither and die or grow larger. Something written on the guitar. It says "Soy un perdedor." I don't know what that means, so we may very well just need to take the language lessons ourselves to understand Spanish. Yep. Is there a case where this floor gives you different paths from this door to the other? No, it doesn't. It's just kind of weirdly circular. Not high enough. So we're gonna have to get probably a bigger ladder. Hmm. I heavily suspect there isn't much left to see in these areas and on these floors. If we ordered those things, they either got delivered or they are still this guy wanted the other layer. Where have you been, Commander? Project Oink has already begun. I don't know what that is. Don't worry, no one does. Don't worry, no one does. Take a message to my girl at the front. She'll know what to do. Yes, sir. Dismissed. And you can't go back and fight these. The flag is already up. Pick up this lawnmower and pick up the language lessons, which, yeah, subliminal Spanish language lessons, learn Spanish while you sleep, and mower power. All right. So we'll try and give the letter to her. Let's see how that works. Thought you could get to drop on me, eh? No, I reckon. I brought a note from... So they won't take the note. What's funny is, in the game The Watchmaker, you died a lot also and had to reset. Alright, we've got some poop. Let's dig here. What did we just get then? I don't know. Seemed like we got something, but unless we buried something, seemed like nothing. We can't just dig everywhere there's snow. Right, well. Let's see if we can talk to this guy. 5 more minutes. Talking to this guy. Doesn't say anything or do anything. This whole poem again. I think we're pretty much gonna have to just go back up. We have a harmonica. but the harmonica alone seems to not be the solution. Seems like there's more to it than that. Man, all of this is just wandering around though. It's pathetically repetitive. And that is the problem with any like point and click adventure or adventure game in general, is that they can get very repetitive if you don't know exactly what to do. And frankly, I think point and click adventures are at their best by the third or fourth time you've played them and you really know what's happening. Alright, let's jump back. But I don't see how this game would be particularly good. Right, so I think we just put the subliminal Spanish lessons. Apparently that was a cassette tape or CD. It should have been labeled text-wise as a cassette tape or CD. Okay. We'll just have to go back down, I think, and give the lawnmower to the guy in the past, at the very least. And then probably gonna have to run around and use the shovel somewhere too. So now we've given him a powered lawnmower on top of the push lawnmower, which I don't know if we're gonna have to order even better lawnmower at some point. Let's give this note here. Who goes there? A courier from the Admiral General. He wished for you to have this message. So old Cranky is ready to talk, eh? Tell him waffles. Waffles? Keep it under your hat. Loose lips sink ships. Yes, General. Problem here certainly is we could run into yet another video game reference and have to do one of those. And that probably would be a good thing because then we'd get another item. Let's see what he says. What's the word, Commander? Bird? Bird is the word. No news yet, sir. I'll have to depend on the Soresal code breakers to come up with something. Waffles. That's what she said. For supper? I don't know why she said it, sir. I was expecting surrender. A woman's whims are as unpredictable as the weather, eh, Commander? I suppose, sir. For your exemplary service and wisdom, I'm promoting you to captain. Thank you, sir. Yep, so we're now captain, I guess, whatever, for whatever use that is. Hey, Sarah de me. Is that who am I? Let's go with either champion, not cereals, not numero uno, not it's either champion or a Technico or paid for the door. Champion? So it seems like you probably can say several. Let's go with Technico though and just see what happens there. We may have to just jump back and forth in time multiple times. So where are we with actual challenge? We have In the Old War, which we're still trying to do. Redirect Rivet, which we're making progress on. Encourage Brazzo, which is maybe the wrestler. Get Rod moving. I feel like we've done that a couple times. Like, let's just look at this map, and on the first floor, is there anything we want to check? Yeah, there's a whole room here. It says La Parija Ra Fantastica. That might be another thing to do. Also now have a musical instrument that is not broken. And I don't know what these pictures are supposed to be references of. You have a V and an F here, which arguably means maybe we need to go tell them to be Fantastica. Let's do that. Let's also go ahead and talk to this lady, just to see if there's anything there. Fantastico? Okay. So if he's Fantastico now, then yeah, it feels like this is going to put him in different places. At different times, I guess, in the future. I don't know where we're gonna get the third level of a lawnmower, which almost certainly we're gonna get. Let's find the musical girl and see if this works. Found this double bass for you. It's twice my size. You'll grow into it. Okay. That's something. So I think there's going to be a fairly large change now. Unless we're supposed to give the harmonica to her also, which would also make sense. Found this harmonica for you, thanks. What? It's diatonic. Come back when you find a chromatic harmonica, detective. Well, how could you change one harmonica into another? I have no clue. That seems like that's asking quite a lot. Forward we go. Rivet does seem like she is now redirected. No longer chasing after me. See. Heard the door. Dear diary, I leave for Spain in search of a partner to pursue my passion. There we go. We've redirected Ribbit. So we've done one of them. Still don't really have a way to reach up here. Let's talk to her. How's the song coming on? I'm missing something. How can we make something chromatic? He's here. And now the dog bone is also hanging, squeaky toy. So with every action, he becomes more suspicious of me, is figuring out what's going on. It seems like there's just like one too many rooms that you go through where it feels like you could have removed. If they removed just like one room in between some of the other rooms, it would be a more manageable environment to walk around in. Or if there was just mouse support and you could double click on a place on the map and quickly jump there. I had to return the lawnmower, it clashed with my shirt. What are we looking for a shirt? Nope. Nothing here in a year later. We already did that. We have the lawnmower. 2 lawnmowers in the tree. So I guess the idea is we're gonna get a 3rd lawnmower in the tree, and that will maybe break the tree. I'm glad to see that you finally enlisted, Draft Dodger. Captain, I'm reassigning you the bond disposal for not apprising me of the syrup situation. Take this metal detector and remove all the island's landmines by tomorrow morning. Dismissed. Okay, so we now have a metal detector. Alright, let's see if we find any landmines. What else would the metal detector even be useful for? It's hard to tell to the growth in snow, but I think that's just a sprinkler. So maybe back in the past we can reach there. Now that we have a metal detector. Do we have anything else? Do we have this plunger that we haven't used? We have a shovel that we seemingly will still use. We have the tube, paper tube. Just a whole bunch of text. Really don't want to talk to her again. Okay. And this time he won't let me through. So he's guarding that. Back up we go. Is there anything else we missed. I'm guessing what we're gonna do here. So we're just gonna have to travel back and forth a lot more. This really is just the pinnacle of bad game design. Let's drag the player around, make them wander, make them feel like they missed something. Let's see. Back we go. Yeah, I guess at this point, if we look at everything, we've done 2 of the 5 things. The lawnmower is the weirder one that we haven't done. Now it feels like you're mostly going to wander around these levels. Going up and down things. Let's see. Let's see. We have a full-on tractor riding lawnmower now. Riding lawnmowers actually don't work on sloped grass. I found out a few months ago. So they're fine if you have a nice flat, large area of grass that you need to mow, but they don't particularly work well if you have any kinds of slopes. Or maybe it was 0-turn lawnmowers in particular that don't work. Before we go anywhere, we should just try every pollution answer. Let's see. Yo perdira la pilla. So I guess I did just brute force it there, and that was worth it because I don't really feel the need to try and figure out exactly what I'm telling him or saying. Have we done everything here? Let's see. We have a bucket optimized for filling. When did we get a bucket? We must have dug it up. Let's put this on the tab. There we go. And we'll get some sap. Why do we need sap? I don't know. But good thing I checked. Looks like we have 7 more items. Maybe we put the harmonica in the sap. Maybe that does something for us. Or maybe we figure out a way to get rid of the dog. in the future. Yeah, I question whether there's anything else that can be done in this run, and probably just have to run back to the future. There you go. You can give him the lawnmower. And then maybe that means lawn would be mowed later. If not, whatever. Seems like you can come out that door, but you can't go in that door. Which means you have to run back out this way. Do we have anything else? Paper tube. I think we're good. I think we've done as much. This might be that movie Time Bandits. That might be the reference they're making. Yeah. A lot of little pixely references to movies and things. I don't know if there's real value in that, however. Do we have anything to really show off right now? No, I think we have to just exit. It would make so much sense for you to go to the right of the clock tower, and then there would be a staircase that went all the way down to the first floor, and you only would have to do a couple things. Well, it looks like she is relaxing finally. Drink coffee? No. Now's not the time for a coffee break. Sure. Into the kitchen, I clearly lumber. Blurry vision veiled by slumber. Open windows, ocean breeze. Morning light, reverie recedes. Silverware shimmers, glasses glisten. I'm overjoyed by pristine vision. Was this deed's husband's doing? Hark, a sound, coffee brewing. Angelic aroma, seraphic, and scent, heavily flavored, liquid wonderment. Caressing cup, I serenely savor, blithely imbibing companion's favor. Helpful husband, supportive spouse, cheerful children, happy house. So that got Rod moving. One more done. I feel like there's a decent chance they're going to just tell us to find every clock in this. I guess it wasn't a sprinkle after all. It was a musical instrument. Yeah. Let's talk to this guy. Thanks for that mower, it was amazing. I just finished mowing the lawn, tuning the clock, and changing the temperature. How'd you change the temperature? Adjusted the thermostat. Alright. And, okay. So now it is no longer snowing in the future. Which, honestly, it should have worked the other way. Should have been a case of it not snowing until he mowed the grass. We now have a bucket of sap. First step towards syrup. Why do we need syrup? For pancakes, I guess. I mean waffles. Now everything is going to look the same. So it would be very helpful if there was more visual clues. So he wants syrup. So now are we cooking syrup? I guess we're just gonna leave that boiling for a while. We'll exit and come back and see what do we have now. Maple syrup. Okay. Let's see if that works. Guess we're gonna deal with the maple syrup later in the past. Still can't do anything there. I think we've got to go up one stairs and find the music girl. There is something potentially creepy about the two kids' room merging into a Jack and Jill bedroom that has a picture of adults in a hot tub behind the toilet. Seems a little weird. But how's the song coming along? Something's missing. We have to give her the instrument in the past. Do we have anything else to even interact with? No, I think we're just getting diminishing returns at this point where, like, not really accomplishing as much. Let's see if we can find the wrestler guy. Here they are. Referee, where's your mask? Love has unmasked my heart, senor. I have forsaken the glory of the ring for the thrill of romance. So that just means music for melody. Hola, Rivet. Hola, Villero de Tempo. You're speaking Spanish. Mi novio guapo es el español. I don't understand Spanish. My boyfriend does, and that's all that matters. Okay. So we had to find them to finish that part of the challenge. Which pretty much means, I think, if we just give the syrup. Let's see, we'll just have to give the syrup and the instrument. Let's give the instrument. Found the trumpet for you. Why is it filled with dirt? Because I'm not familiar with trumpet cleaning procedures. You're a strange one, detective. It seems to me like probably are going to have to find a chromatic harmonica, but maybe not. Maybe that was just a joke. Like, from the looks of it, I'm suspecting we will just give the syrup. Just hand the syrup over to him. Brought you a bottle of syrup, sir. We're going above and beyond the call of duty. It is my honor to promote you to full admiral, which is why I intend to be after at Waffles. Alright. Now the weirdness here is it still feels like there's room for 5 more items. But take a brief moment to just think things through. we've used the shovel and got the shovel. Plunger we've used, metal detector we've used. Paper tube is basically the only thing we haven't used, and maybe we have used that in the little video game montages. Frankly, those video game montages I think exist solely to be screenshots on the Steam page, because a significant amount of this stuff, the video game montages were screenshots on the Steam storefront page. And frankly, it's a little deceptive of what this game actually is. This game is a very basic keyboard-only adventure game. Can't even really call it a point-and-click adventure game. And it's weird that the animation is as good as it is and that they weren't able to at least have mouse support. But certainly weirder things have happened. I don't think the music is here. The next part of this would kind of fall apart, because if we do get music for melody, how does that actually fix the time machine? How's the sun coming along? It's missing something. Right. Where is this instrument in the past? That is probably one of the instruments, but it feels like, honestly, we need maybe the entire bottom row could potentially be musical instruments. What else? What else can we find? Where else can we find something? Let's talk to these two. Nothing there. There's kind of no reason to check back this way. Where would some musical instruments be? Oh, I bet we got the squeaky toy next to the dog poop. I bet that's exactly what we found. Is that he buried the squeaky toy and then we got it back. Yeah, there, the musical instrument is hanging there. We now have also cheese. Okay. So this is just going to be something that we would have to use. And he doesn't want the cheese. Okay. Who do we give the cheese to, or what do we do with the cheese? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if we just won't use the cheese until we are at the very end of the game. Seems like at this point I could have broken this up into 2 episodes instead of just one long episode. But whatever. Oh. We apparently can pick up that instrument also. No. Yeah. It does feel like there's going to straight up be multiple musical instruments. Wonder if we're supposed to undo or wreck a relationship once we had established the relationship in the future. Probably not. I don't feel like this game is that complicated. Still. Nothing seemingly in the time hall. This definitely does feel slightly influenced by Maniac Mansion in the sense that you have a bunch of weird people that seem to be kind of unconnected, all living in the same house. Found this guitar for you. I suppose I could compose a song with this. Wonder if her song is just the final puzzle, and once she composes a song, that's how you take the next step. So I needed to do this. End up with that. That still leaves us with potentially 2 items. I have a hard time believing that there's not more to this. So he's just mowing right now, and he'll just mow the whole time. So we may very well just have to risk it, give the last instrument to the girl, and see if perhaps the 2 remaining items are not needed or just non-existent. Because let's talk to her. Yeah, unless there's something we missed, which is totally possible. I think I'm kind of turned around here. It's a violin, not a viola, that I can make do. So we give her another instrument. Sorry, barely even reading the dialogue. I think all we have is the cheese at this point. And I think the cheese is for the mouse, and maybe that's why we saw the mouse at the very beginning of the game, but that was quite a while ago. That was nearly 2 hours ago. So I wouldn't blame people for forgetting. But also not blame people if they actually pause this game, and I don't know if it actually even has a pause menu. But I wouldn't blame people if they pause this game and then they just kind of forgot that they had seen the mouse or what was going on in general. Let's see. Forward we go. The way the clock depicts it going like 1 hour forward or 5 minutes forward definitely gives the impression that this game at one time was going to have multiple time zones that you transfer from into, which would definitely make sense. The time travel element in Inuyasha, the anime called Inuyasha, actually doesn't play much of a role. They mostly spend almost all their time in the past. How's the song coming along? It's missing something. Okay. Well, we may have painted ourselves in a corner now. Maybe I'm supposed to jump over here. Okay. So now we have a cello. Okay, I'm willing to believe that's the last thing we needed, and it's not broken. I thought it was broken. So I'm thinking if we go back in time, and I just was not figuring out that you needed to jump from the stepladder to the dresser drawer. So if we go back in time, give this to the girl, there is a chance, a decent chance, that that's the last one she needed. She'll give us one last item, and then found a cello for you. Pre-1702 Stradivari are a little big. Can you get a post-1706 model? Stradivari? I thought it was a cello. Never mind. Right. So I'm hoping that is that. And we are actually only a few steps away from finishing the game, which I think I would appreciate. Now, we do have a weird situation here in that this is a game that's selling right now on Steam for 99 cents. So I can't be really too critical of a game that cheap. But also, I tend not to bother to try and even play games. Oh, he's not even here this time. I tend not to even try to play games that are short and cheap. And in this case, I've obviously made an exception. So, yeah, you are in the weird situation where potentially I could finish the game in the next few minutes, be under 2 minutes, and be under 2 hours, and get the Steam no question asked refund if I was trying to be extremely cheap. I don't do that kind of stuff, of course, but yeah, I could see a lot of other people doing that because this is a short game, and I don't know if there really is a want or a desire or a possibility for short games to succeed in this case. I wish this game was a lot better, certainly, and then if it was better, I would wish for it to be longer. But since it isn't better, I'm glad it's short, but that's probably not a good sales point, is it? I knew you'd be back. What's with the pipe? It represents my investigatory spirit. That's right, what are you investigating? My sister's music and her mysterious instrument supplier. I gotta go. Hey. How's the song coming along? It's missing something. So it keeps dodging them. Alright, so we got the squeaky toy again. So now we go to the wrestler's room, which is where? It's lower down, I believe. The squeaky toy, and here we have our final video game. Twins, the adventurer has returned to take our treasure. Enter couch cushion station when you dare to pass the point of no return. Let's see, you've got like a robot here. So this is the final part of the game, and I don't know what this is really supposed to represent, other than just kind of a generic platformer. They all seem to be moving a little bit faster. Man. Talk about wonky controls. It's not like I have a particularly gaming centric mouse keyboard either. I think that's worth mentioning. So much for that being a point of no return. I was able to exit it just fine. So yeah, these are not really buttons that are designed to be pressed in like 2 cycles. Hey, look how easy it is to just fall down, as I'm having to press up and to the right. Even if this just supported WASD, which it doesn't, it would make a lot more sense. I don't think there's any way you make it past. I think as soon as you fail to either capture it or hit it, you're doomed. Yep. And I probably should not try and rush through this. Like, you can jump over that, fine, but you probably should take all the time you need. Part of the problem here is it's up then right, but not up and then right too late. You still have to actually make it in time. And if you don't get the timing right, then you're pressing right or left, which then has you fall down. And attempts to adjust for that won't work. I'm not even really hitting them with the sword. Right, well. Giant robot. Is this supposed to be a boss fight? Right. That was weird. A weird little cutscene. A weird way to beat it. I was not expecting that at all. You won yesterday, you won today, and you'll probably win tomorrow, but we'll keep trying. And so we've got a cymbal. Or a drum. Looks like a cymbal to me. Drum kit, small set of tube, skins, and pies. You have nowhere to run, Strike. You'll answer my questions truthfully, no cheesy lies. If I perceive even the faintest attempt at deception, we'll start over. Do you understand? No. I think you'll figure it out. What is your name? So I guess at this point, you just have to answer questions about the game to prove you've been paying attention. Well, it's probably isn't too hard. I'm named after my grandfather. Where did you go to school? Sadie Lou. I majored at a horological studies with a minor in flying disc dynamics. Why are you here? I'm here to fix the clock. I was hired to do. Who hired you to fix the clock? Mr. Klipsidra. He sent me an email. Who is Mr. Klipsidra? Your mom, your dad, your great-grandpa? I'm not sure. Never met him. And why are you so compelled to fix the clock? I'm the hero, Gypsy's curse. I am your father. I don't have a choice. Based on your answers, you're obviously no common criminal. That's a relief. Your villainy is most unusual. Oh. You repair the clock and meddle in my family's affairs with no clear motive. Even if your motives were altruistic, how could you have so adopted adroitly? I don't know what so adroitly adopted to every member of the family. Either you're schizophrenic mechanic compelled to fix every challenge you face. You've been placed under a guise by this Mr. Clypsydra. Okay. So I guess we escaped back here. Or you're a time traveler averting a dystopian future. Maybe I'm just a simple horologist fulfilling his kitasbiotic oath. Real big words here. That isn't a real thing. It will be someday. You are from the future. I meant that I intend to make it a thing. Not that it already was a thing in the future. Or you are familiar with things in the future. Listen, if I was from the future, wouldn't I come back time to extricate myself from your questions? Perhaps. See? It's like I was saying, you extricated yourself. That wasn't me. At least I don't think it was. And here we have a bathtub time machine. Wasn't that from the Duckwings cartoon reference? Right. So we have a clock to look at and some other stuff to look at and some other stuff to look at. I guess we'll just look at everything. The phase inducer appears to be online. This, of course, is Back to the Future references. The flux capacitor is fluctuating at full capacity. Something seems to be stuck inside the self-sealing stem bolt. Right. So we freed something. The quanton generators has plenty of congillium. What's interesting though is it's not letting us actually go up the stairs. We're basically in a cutscene. 2020, which this game came out in 2015, so that would have been future. Now we go up here. Now we see what this hallway was all about. Hey, thanks for all the help. Do you have enough instruments? I'm still missing something, like drums? How were you carrying those? It's extra dimensional. I gotta go. What? Good luck with your music. So we've given everything to them except for the cheese. That's the only thing we haven't used. And yeah. 2020. Which I guess is what 20XX was. And we're back to the house being dark and seemingly less destroyed now, whereas it was kind of destroyed before. Apparently we can't get back into the other area. Clearly they ran out of steam in making this game, because there would have been plenty of reason to have the doors not be locked at this point. so you can see what has happened. Nothing in that bathroom ever. Let's go down again. Where did everyone go? Maybe the 2020 is a different time. There, we'll put the cheese in the mouse hole. Seems like that's a weirdly extra thing. There's a note pinned to the wall. Thanks for cheese, Kladepsky. So it was the mouse that called us to fix the clock. Interesting. One, two, three, 4, I guess, if you want to replay any of the challenges again. What are you doing here? Yeah, I was just... Everyone's waiting for you. They are? For a time traveler, you're rarely on time. I thought there was a creaky board, but I guess maybe you could only maybe get to that creaky board at the very beginning of the game if you jumped. Okay. Everything's lit, everything's nicely maintained. See if there's something over here. Nope. So I assume we're just gonna end this where we started it, at the boat. It kind of feels like he should be somehow related to the whole family, but I guess maybe not. So you got the whole collection of people. Let's talk to him. You should make punctuality part of the Hittite oath. Hola, guapo. Oh, so they had a kid. Interesting. Can you believe that Rod set all of this up? I'm a handy guy. And apparently we've just got some other kids now. They've formed a band. Where have you been all this time, Admiral? I cannot disclose the details of my whereabouts. They are over the top secret. Understood. So I feel like they're all going to play a credit sequence here. And then at some point in the credit sequence, the Squid King is going to show up and kidnap everybody as the one last gag. That's my guess. That helped, but we're the ones who built it. So I guess this is probably the music girl. And then these two here are the video game twins. Alright. Yeah. So it's not new kids, it's just they've grown and they're bigger, and she's grown and they're bigger, which I guess he's grown and he's bigger too. Yeah. These two are pretty much the exact same age, and these guys all look about the same age too. It's weird because it's like there's this whole family living in the house, related. And then you just have this weird, lady and weird Mexican guy who seem to be completely unrelated. They have like black hair. They seem to be more, at least the Mexican guy seems to be from Mexican descent, where everybody else seems to be more just general United States, American, Anglo-Saxon descent. Are you ready for the show? Let's go with no. Still investigating, detective. Let's go with yes. Stellar, here's your instrument. And this is a fine way to end any game, but I wish there was more of a game here. It's very, very light, very simplistic. This is the kind of thing that probably shouldn't be 99 cents on Steam. Would make a lot more sense as a 99-cent game on a cell phone, Android, iOS. Particularly if you were playing this on a cell phone, the limitations on the controls could be more excusable. Although, if you are going to make a cell phone game, you kind of have to make a game that works with mouse inputs anyways. And that's not what is happening here. That's a very weird font. Basically using the number 3 in the middle instead of the letter E. Just flipped around. And it's just going to say the end and play a little bit of music, not even a full song. Interesting. And maybe there was just a considerable limitation in their ability. If they're using something called multimedia fusion, which I've never heard of, maybe that was a limiting factor to how much game they could actually make, but I don't really believe that. I wonder if Merrily Perily is fairly short too. I suspect it is. And if you click more games, it just pops up a browser, so we don't need to talk about that. Yeah. Well, that's it for Tock Isle. A very short game, and a kind of good reminder that I need on rare occasion to not buy or play very short games. It's very hard to be a video game critic when there isn't much there to criticize. At the end of the day, I would say, even at 99 cents, it's an incredibly linear game that has no real replayability, has no twists, no surprises, has very little interactivity in general, with the exception of the video game homages. This is one of those games where it feels like somebody really did love video games enough to make a video game when they could have instead not make a video game, and they did seem to love the idea of time travel enough to make a decent number of references, but they're leaning extremely heavily on references instead of telling their own story, and that's no good. And even though this is a game, it's barely a game. It could easily have just been a visual novel. And I definitely expect a lot more from adventure games or point-and-click adventure games. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.